After 200 years of dominance in the modern world economy and immense damage to people's ecosystems, coal is finally giving way to green power. As the cost of coal skyrockets, renewables become cheaper. Grassroots organizations in Africa celebrate the imminent death of the dreaded coal monster, which has ruined ecologies and the lives of communities across the African continent. The 2020 cancellation of Egypt's huge Hamraween coal project is a symbol of the fossilization of coal as a primary power provider. And China's announcement that it will no longer be funding international coal power projects is a crucial moment in the global struggle against coal. South Africa's massively expensive and inefficient Medupi and Kusile power stations are symbols of the economic, ecological, and ethical non-viability of coal. We have to ask ourselves what role fossil fuels have played in the global entrenchment of colonialism and economic exploitation. The financial benefits of coal largely accrue to those at the top, to the owners, investors, and elite staff of coal companies, but not to local communities and workers, and sometimes not even the government. What has coal done to stoke the flames of inequality in Africa? Coal has played a major role in colonialism, imperialism, and the subjugation of African people. It has paved the way for the economic domination of fossil fuel industries, with massive environmental costs, ultimately leading to catastrophic climate change. Despite coal's negative effects on human health and the environment, despite its undeniable link to climate change, and despite Africa's great potential for solar and wind energy, governments still cling to the promise of coal. Why? ACN Kenyan delegate Daniel Morty shares a glimpse of how the ownership of coal projects affects government policy. Many African governments are trapped between the legitimate needs and concerns of the populace and the financial pressure to succumb to the power politics of the international coal business. As the world's largest coal companies face the threat of bankruptcy, they desperately attempt to rebrand themselves as the only solution to the energy problems of poor countries. And there are many powerful coal advocates who refuse to bow to international pressure around climate change, such as Australia's Minister of Resources and Water, the appropriately named Keith Pitt. Despite the frantic convulsions of a dying coal industry, the world is transitioning to clean, affordable energy. More than just a transition, we need to see a just transition, a 21st century balance of ecological, ethical, affordable, and regenerative principles. It's time for a new balance between human progress and green power. The carbon offsets mechanism, hatched by the big business lobby at the 1997 COP summit in Kyoto, provided a way for rich countries to escape their own mitigation responsibilities by bribing other countries to reduce their emissions. But this and other outmoded gambits belong in the dustbins of history. With its relative absence of giant fossil fuel industries and abundant potential for green power development, Africa must play a key role in determining the planet's energy future. Africa makes it real by insisting on the inclusion of community needs and perspectives in global climate change debates. We must insist on a just and equitable balance between money, power, and the needs of the poor. Transition finance will be necessary to close the funding gap that prevents African countries from equal participation in the design of a new global power system beyond coal. Where will that money come from? Rich countries that built vast empires on the bedrock of coal and human exploitation have a historical responsibility to the poor countries that now find themselves most vulnerable to climate change. Climate debt needs to be redefined, not as a financial issue, but as reparation to all the world's inhabitants and to the planet itself. Corporations with no legal obligation to make their archives accessible hide key information behind a moat of obscurity. The battle for transparency plays a crucial role in activism to combat new coal development. Activists against new coal development need to know the law. Climate change attorney Nicole Loza demonstrates how legal challenges against every license for new coal-fired power have stopped new coal power projects in South Africa. ASEAN delegate Shireen Talat, representing Egypt and Tunisia, spoke about gaining a seat as equals in international coal forums. Africa can make it real by moving the argument away from the technicist abstractions of carbon markets towards a true appreciation of the human suffering and environmental damage caused by coal. We need to question ourselves very deeply. How does coal relate to gender, to patriarchy, and to the long history of imperial conquest, colonial oppression, and post-colonial economic injustice? Africa's anti-coal campaigns are a key component of the global South-South collaboration of local and national grassroots movements. Africa brings a new message of hope and solidarity to communities across the globe. These are the struggles and questions that Africa brings to the historic COP26 in Glasgow, where the world comes face to face with the reality of the end of the coal economy. Keep coal in the hole. March forward to green energy and people's power.